Burma's official name is the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. This Southeast Asian country has a common border with Bangladesh, India, China, Laos, and Thailand. Myanmar is also known for its ancient royal cities and pagodas. Myanmar has a very rich cultural heritage, a legacy of its glorious past. It is a multicultural country where several ethnic and religious groups live together.
For protect the disaster. So that's why I buy the umbrella. White means purify. So I like a white color, and then I buy white color. And red color is brave. I mean the brave. And then so I struggle my life. I stand my life brave. The others are the different color. Is depend on their astrology. Mostly Myanmar people buy gold and silver. So gold is we want gold, and then we need money. So money in our language we call the same pronunciation of silver.
It is in Yangon, the economic capital and largest city in the country, with 4.5 million inhabitants, where you can find the Sule Pagoda in the heart of the city. After the mandatory removal of shoes and socks, you enter the sanctuary, which you must travel in a clockwise direction. This is where the faithful come to worship Buddha, who is not considered a god, but a wise man. One of the rituals that you can discover at the Sule Pagoda is to put water on the heads of statues to purify. Buddhism is the most practiced religion. It is predominantly the Theravada tradition mixed with local beliefs. According to the military government, it is practiced by 89% of the population, especially among the Bamar, Rakhine, Shan, Mon, and Chinese. Theravada Buddhism was introduced to Burma by envoys of King Ashoka in the 3rd century BCE. Mahayana appeared only 10 centuries later, close to the Chinese border regions, followed by Vajrayana. The three schools coexisted until the reign of King Anarata in the 11th century, who opted for Theravada Buddhism and tried to restore it to its original purity. Buddhism attracted and intrigued its Western populations for the characteristics of self-control. The originality of Burmese Buddhism lies in the way it understands popular beliefs about spirits. The Sakabuya demonstrates the strength of the spirituality of Buddhism. This art is often used as a demonstration, and what might seem like hocus is to demonstrate the strength of their belief. Moreover, all safety measures are taken to prevent accidents. These demonstrations are rather spectacular and dangerous, happen in the best conditions for the students.
Before anyone's make a demonstration, the player or the demonstrator has to take meditations, and also pay the Buddhas, pay the lights, respect to the lights, to the Buddha also, because the Buddhas preach them everything. The question, as long as the student has strength a lot, the second master knows what to do and what to prevent, what to show the demonstration, what demonstration is suits for the player.
Before each exercise or demonstration, students go for a ritual worship in front of Buddha. Their practice and their art is very closely related to religion. These schools are often secret and therefore not open to everyone. You have to be sponsored to gain access. Like most Burmese, Rupa Thien is a practicing Buddhist and a practitioner of martial arts recognized throughout Myanmar as a master. Today, she is involved with many clubs. As a consultant, she brings her valuable advice. She is also preparing some athletes for the upcoming Asian Games.
I'm coming to hear the supreme power place. They are different from my technique because of I'm a physical fighting, how to attack the opponents, the enemies. Is a Myanmar traditional Thai martial arts. They are also including our martial arts, but they depend on our Buddha, especially the Buddhism speech, Buddha speech. So they train like as a meditation every day, every night. So they get a supreme power.
Since Myanmar is open to tourism, more and more Westerners come to visit the country. They immerse themselves in the Burmese culture, like Morgan, a young French woman that we joined for breakfast. In the morning, they bring the dishes and it is up to you to decide if you want to eat or not. They can fill a table with different dishes. It's salty, it's sweet. In general, all the dishes are fried, high fat, with the exception of their soup. Everything is very tasty. Burmese food is a mixture of Asian and Indian influence. Don't forget that we are on the border between India, Thailand, and China. Crossing the street in Myanmar is an experience in and of itself. The morning papers are there. The Burmese press has always been heavily censored by the military dictatorship, but over the last 3 years, new daily papers have appeared in the Burmese kiosks. These newspapers are published by private companies and are free to talk about anything. Now there is no more government control. This has not occurred in Burma since 1964. Nevertheless, this new field of freedom for the press, this road appears bumpy. The publication of newspapers have problems of certification, and printers are under-equipped. Journalists are poorly trained and shaped by years of censorship.
Yes, for visiting and for training in...
Today, many Westerners come to Myanmar to explore the rich culture of this country. Like Morgan, they attract the attention of local journalists who would like to meet them and know more about them and understand what brings them to Burma.
It's what I do in France also. So, in France, I'm Sayama, so I come here to learn more and to teach to the students. Like some other Sayadji come here to learn and to go back in the country. We try to promote Teng Bando. Okay, so now you can write what you want, or nearly what you want. Dada? Dada?
Located on the banks of the Irrawaddy, Mandalay is the second largest city in Burma, with about 1 million inhabitants, 2.5 million in the metropolitan area. It was the last royal capital between 1860 and 1885 under the Kongbang dynasty. It is nicknamed the City of Jewels. Today, it is the administrative capital of the Mandalay region. In 2011, the city was 30 to 40% Chinese. For most, They are immigrants who, in the 90s, began to surge from the neighboring region of Yunnan in China. After its renovation due to the 1945 bombings, the former royal palace is one of the most beautiful monuments of Mandalay. The site is still under influence by the army. The walls, the towers, the 12 gates, and 33 towers are all that remain from the royal palace, a key building in the country. In Myanmar, martial arts are called Bando, which means the art of unarmed combat. Today, Thang Bando refers to techniques of Burmese combat origins dating back more than 4,500 years ago. They come from warfare techniques used on the battlefield. This is the result of a long historical evolution where they have preserved the rules and principles of training. It is the result of a reflection of monks who needed to find a way to defend themselves and physically maintain themselves. The term Bandohas has a Chinese origin for some, others Indian or Tibetan. It was used by the monk Amapura Sayadaw in 1911 from the monastery in the city of monks from North Burma. Here we find Morgan, who is going to meet the old master Rupa to learn more about the Bando techniques.
Right hand.
Okay.
And then here. Here.
Yes.
More.
Yeah. Use
Despite his age, one might have thought Rupa is no longer as strong. Well, think again. Just look at the things she taught Morgan to understand, that she is a master and as effective and powerful.
and both of your hands. So like this, dance. Agak. And training there. Okay, nice.
Rupa also provides knowledge to children. Children are interested more in this art and are delighted to enjoy the instruction given by such a master. It is not unusual, out of the training and despite their respect for their elders, that children have fun teasing their master. The Siam-Burma Railway, also known as the Railway of Death, is a rail track of 415 kilometers from Bangkok and Rangoon. It was built by the Japanese Empire during World War II in order to strengthen the prosperity of Japan in Southeast Asia. The train in Yangon is also used to go around the city, allowing residents to go to work. It is customary to have breakfast outside, near the railway station, and there are also small shops along the tracks. Approximately 180,000 civilians and 60,000 war prisoners were forced to work on the construction of the railway. Approximately 90,000 civilians and 16,000 war prisoners died during this work. In Burmese society, there are many martial arts. Among them, the Burmese boxing is called Bama Litwi in Burmese. Many find it a resemblance to the Muay Thai. The Bama Litwi is a boxing of fists and feet, said Marshall, which borrows from the technical heritage of Burmese warriors and its whole range of strategies. It became popular from the 11th century under King Anuratha, with ethnic fighting without rules and extreme violence. The way of fighting is very specific. Often, the fighters are taking on animal behavior and is not similar to other Far Eastern martial art practices. In Burmese boxing, the whole body is a weapon. Traditionally, the fights took place in a circle, but now the Western ring and divisions have made their appearance, turning a page to modern times for this martial art. The fights are organized in anarchaic ways. They focus heavily on tradition. It is only at the last moment that the medical examination is passed. Some boxers wear amulets around their arms or legs to give confidence, strength, and bravery. Many Burmese boxers tattoo their torso and legs. For some, they tattoo their victories, and others tattoo animals, eagles, cobras, panthers, tigers, and many others, symbolizing strength and courage. The meeting is led by 2 referees and evaluated by 6 judges. Almost all techniques are allowed. You can even knock a man down.
It started maybe 1,000 years ago, since second dynasty. You see the dancing. Dancing is a sort of the 2 component dancing. They dance before the fight, okay? A sort of showing respect to the audience and the referee on one end, on the other end, a sort of challenge to the opponent. But you see, the sporting spirit is very high. After the fight, whoever knock out, they hug each other, they console each other. So that's the spirit of the way. We go fight without gloves, but wrapping hand bound with bandages, surgeon bandages. And the rule is 3 minutes fight, 2 minute rest for 5 rounds. That's for professional level. They can use every weapon: punches, elbows, knee strike, throwing, headbutts, and clinching. Everything is allowed, except eye gouging, biting, and intentional kick into the groin. Those are foul techniques. It is martial art, it is sport, it is culture, and it is the value.
Through our eyes, these fights may seem very violent, but for the Burmese, these battles are a lifestyle which is part of their culture.
Bando. I'm 42 years old. I've been in Myanmar now for 4 years, boxing for nearly 3 years. Before here, I was in Hong Kong, involved in Kung Fu for more than 20 years. I spent 15 years in Hong Kong. Between engineering jobs, I've done a lot of work in security, as bouncer, doorman, close protection work. And I like the realistic training here. I like the fact that there's no gloves. It's more realistic. Yeah, it's just a realistic martial art. The first fight was very nerve-wracking. I'd had a couple of warm-ups in Thailand first, only 3-rounders. My first fight in Thailand ended up with me breaking my arm in the first round. The second fight I managed to win by knockout in the third round. My first fight here under Myanmar rules was quite scary. Obviously I was worried about using the headbutt, no gloves, and in front of a crowd of 5,000 people and being the only sort of Westerner there. But it was good. I got a lot of experience from it. My opponent, although was a lot shorter than me, he threw some very painful body shots, cracked 3 of my ribs. But I got a lot of experience from it, and we won the crowd, so we've got the crowd on my side. And since then, we had more and more promoters approaching me for more fights.
According to the government census, Islam, mainly Sunni, is practiced by 4% of the population. But Muslim leaders estimate that 20% of the population may be Muslim. Muslims are divided between Indians, Indo-Burmese, Persians, Arabs, and Panthays Rohingyas. As surprising as it may seem, there is a synagogue in Yangon, now almost vacant because there are virtually no Jews living there. According to some estimations, there are more than 20 families still present in the city. The synagogue is more like a museum open during Jewish holidays. The Sikh arrived with the British Army during the colonization of Myanmar. Christianity is practiced by 4% of the population, mainly among the Kashin, Chin, and Kayan, and Eurasians. Note that Chinese religions and Hinduism are also present in Myanmar, and other religions that may represent only 2% of worshippers.
Là, on est au marché Scott.
Here we are at the Scott Market, the market Jokbo, the former Scott Market from the time of British domination. It is a market with stones and famous clothes in Yangon, and one of the most known in Burma. People think that these shops are tourist shops, but in fact, it is a market for the Burmese. We go upstairs to see the collectors' shops.
Non, il n'y a rien de bon. On va aller voir, trouve-moi du...
We're going to see blue topaz.
Des topazes bleus, là. Ici, en fait, on a à peu près regroupé...
Here, we put everything that is conventionally done in Myanmar. This is Burmese-type stone jewelry,
En pierre, en bijoux de style birman, et notamment cette
including this beautiful blue topaz wish was irradié.
qu'on a irradiée.
These are natural stones, but the color is not at all.
Mais si vous venez voir ici, vous allez voir ces montures qui
These are the typical Burmese wedding jewelry
birmanes, où vous avez
made with jade,
de la citrine,
citrine,
qui est le même
ruby,
effet. La citrine, c'est du quartz,
which is very common in Burma.
et puis ce qui se fait beaucoup en
These stones are presented in individual boxes.
dans des petites boîtes individuelles.
We can raise these stones after we buy them.
Après ces pierres, là tu peux voir en fait, c'est une
Here you can see
peau birman
a typical store with Burmese design.
typique dans le design local birman. Les Birmans mettent énormément
The Burmese wear a lot of jewelry, especially in weddings,
de rubis, de pierres.
where you'll see rivers of ruby.
Donc ce genre
In
de
Europe,
monture
we find it a bit overwhelming, but it is typical of the local jewelry culture.
chargé, mais c'est typique de la culture locale, des bijoux locaux. Alors, là,
There is going to be like a field of jade and pearls.
les perles. Là, ils ont de très belles pierres ici.
Here, they have beautiful stones. These are the stones we were talking about before, but they are much more beautiful. Peridot stone with beautiful green and very beautiful spinels. This size in ruby would cost more than 1 million in spinels, is already more reasonable.
Ça, c'est un vrai péridot birman.
That is a real peridot diamond of Mongok. They are beautiful. There are no synthetics.
Synthèse, là. Alors, une des pierres très
A very large stone here, obviously a symbolic level as jade for the Chinese as Burmese. There was a lot of jade sold here throughout Myanmar.
majorité des
The majority of low-end jade is the synthesis of quartz or stone that has been bleached with chlorine and re-dyeing thereafter.
teintés par la suite. On va aller
We're
voir
going to see both real and fake jade from a specialist
un spécialiste qui va nous montrer
who will show us beautiful and varied things.
$2. Stay jade.
c'est du jade.
Yes. Better one straight. $30.
$30. C'est déjà plus homogène, plus brillant, plus transparent. Tu vois, c'est pas rond,
Those are very large.
des gros trous, une taille
And they are not in the middle. They are a little bit off center.
off center. La teinte est irrégulière,
And
le perçage est pas très beau.
More. And this one, totally different. Perfectly round.
Tu vois, c'est complètement rond.
Very small holes.
Les trous sont beaucoup plus petits, la teinte est beaucoup plus
Well
homogène.
center. I'm talking about my necklaces and straight. And $2,000.
$2000. Et c'est encore pas cher. Tu peux encore en avoir un autre avec une virgule de plus, un zéro de plus. Tu peux avoir un collier à 20 000 sans aucun problème.
I normally say this to the tourists, this to the Westerners, and this to the Chinese.
D'accord. Donc,
And you have
occidental, touriste non occidental, chinois. Le marché. Alors là, j'ai un joli rubis.
Here, I have a nice ruby from a crystallographic point of view,
Sauf que c'est de la synthèse.
except that it is synthetic.
De ce qu'on appelle une boule.
It was part of fake stone, so in Burmese it is called pietenchok, which means stone of the French, because it is the French who invented the synthetic rubies. This is Mr. Verneuil who invented it. It is in a corner of the garage with aluminum powder and a torch.
Alors, quand on achète des pierres précieuses, surtout
So when you buy a ruby, it takes a minimum of common sense when you see a large stone worth $1 million.
$1 million de dollars. Ben voilà, c'est un faux.
Well, here it is a fake. If we buy for $2, it is fun. If you buy it at $100, it's quite expensive, so keep a good sense about it.
On va garder un peu de bon sens quand même. 150. Yes.
Please, I give you 200 because of you. 200.
No, it's not a ruby, it's garnet. It's garnet.
Always give a face-to-face. So this is a one technique. Never give the back to your opponent. And one thing is look at the opponent weakness point. So that is Myanmar time. Myanmar time is depend on the intelligence. This is in my thoughts. Depends on our intelligence. Different master have a different idea, different thoughts. Before you saw the Uncle Win is junior, and then senior selection time athlete coach. And inside the group is the training of Myanmar time with long stick.
Burma is preparing to host the biggest sports event ever held there for nearly half a century. The Southeast Asian Games will be held in Naypyidaw. For this occasion, the government has set up a training camp where the best Burmese athletes in different disciplines are practiced in the territory, but also other athletes and disciplines from other countries will be the best for the big day. After a hard day of training, everyone eats a meal together prepared on site, and all the athletes will eat, sleep, and train together until the games start. Due to a turbulent past, which is still very present in people's minds, Myanmar is not a tourist destination by excellence, but for the last 3 years, things seem to have changed. Myanmar multiplies gestures towards political openness and democracy since March 2011. Landscapes, cultural riches of the ethnic patchwork of Myanmar make it a country wanting to be discovered.